we can kickstart. Where's everyone from? Nice.
So I'm not sure where everyone is from, but we're here in London, in sunny London, I should add. Right now, the weather's been great. Hey, Joanna.
Lucky as this week.
I hear thunderstorms are coming soon, so let's enjoy that last.
This is what we have, isn't it? Amazing.
Okay, so Joanna, should we get going?
Let's get this started. So, hello everybody. I reckon more people will join as time goes by. Welcome to our very first special edition of job search coaching event. It's very exciting. Today, as most of you know, we're going to be talking about why having a job search strategy should be your focus in 2021, and you learn the top tips and best practices to kickstart your career, to land your dream jobs from a top recruiter, Iffy. He's worked in the industry for almost 20 years, and he's helped hundreds of candidates to get where they are now, get their dream jobs and live the lives they want. So without further notice, let me introduce you, Iffy. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning to everyone. So yeah, let's get started. Let's help you guys get into the careers that you want. We're here to get you hired into your dream job, not just any job. So hopefully today will add value to your job search and help you guys, get the big result. And that is obviously a dream job or a career path. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Amazing. So as you can see in the screen, this is to invest. We want you to invest in your career. I think it's one of the most important things someone should do when they start looking for jobs. And it's something that a lot of people miss and don't actually take the time to do it. Looking for jobs is a job in itself.
Yeah.
So I just want to congratulate everyone for joining this session today, because that's a big step already. The fact that you've taken 1 hour of your day to join us today and listen to what we have to say, which will be very good for your career.
They've made the first investment, right? So exactly. Well done to everyone. You've already started to invest in your career, and the career is not just it's something that we spend so much time in, right? You probably spend more time in your job than you do at home, or awake. You spend more of your waking hours in your job, in your career, than you do at home. So, bear that in mind. This is a huge part of your life. So well done on taking that first step of investment, and hopefully you get the big result from that. So that will be, maybe earning a larger salary, right, Joanna? Earning money, being happier in your chosen career path. That's also really, really important. Or, being proud of telling people what it is that you do for a living. A lot of people, when they're asked what you do for a living, they shy away from that question because they're not proud of it. So everyone has different reasons they're here today. So hopefully it's one of those three, maybe.
I agree. And I just posted in the chat a question. So whoever wants to answer what is that you're looking for, you can just put 1, 2, or 3. Because I think they'll be very helpful for you to first decide what is your reason to be here today. And that'll be a lot more helpful throughout this coaching session.
So it's 1 for higher salary, right? So just put 1 in the chat box. 1 if you're looking for a higher salary. 2 if you're looking for a happier career path or being happier in your career path. And 3 for being proud or having some proudness in telling people what you do for a living. And there may be others, so feel free to throw them in the chat.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. We have a lot of people saying happier career path, which is very important. Yeah. If you're happy in what you do, rest follows. So I couldn't agree more. So I think the best way to kickstart this job search coaching session is to tell some success stories. I don't think there's anything more powerful than someone telling their story, their journey with us, what they've been able to achieve by working with us. So we have many success stories, and I proudly say that. So Ify, I don't know, do you have from the top of your head any story that you really think people should listen to?
Yeah, so I mean, look, we've had over the years we've worked with probably thousands of job seekers. So we've had several successes. Some to shout out about that I'm quite proud of. We had a solicitor that was not happy in his career path. Just being a normal solicitor or in a solicitor's firm. We actually worked with that person. I think we have a video testimonial of them also. We helped them land a job at JP Morgan, which was a huge, significant jump from them, from a solicitor into JP Morgan, working as a compliance in the compliance team, AML team. So that was a good thing. And then he jumped again from there to Deutsche Bank. And now I believe he is global ethics and compliance manager. So that's a great success story. That's, it's been an ongoing process, career or move after move, but a really solid career path. I think now his salary is probably treble to what he was before he started with us. So that's a brilliant success story. Another one, quite recently, we had a creative producer, wasn't getting any interviews before he met us and met the experts here at For You. And it was quite brilliant that he said that, it was mind blowing how quickly he started to get results after engaging with us. So, again, that's a really nice success story to mention, that you will get results. Sometimes people continuously apply to jobs and they're not getting successes and they just keep going, so sometimes it's better to stop, fix the problems, and then go again, and then you will get better results in that way. So that's a good one. There's several other examples that I can mention. We've had people that have started with us and then move on to working for example, some of the big newspaper brands like Financial Times. We had one guy that went to work for the Times. We actually placed the next convict, which I was quite proud of. He wasn't getting any jobs. No one was hiring him because of obviously his past. But we helped him get a recruitment sales job in Croydon, I believe it was. And some people with English isn't their first language. We've had a lot of immigrants from India or other places, not their first language. They were struggling to get jobs in the UK. So we managed to help them get into the career ladder or on the career ladder, which was really good. So, really, I've got to just end it with saying that anything is possible. You just need to make it happen. You need to believe in yourself. And we're here to, the experts are here to help this journey be successful.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm not from here either, so I can definitely relate to those struggles when you first move to a country where you don't speak the language, you don't know much. But the good thing is that there are people that know what they're doing, and they will put you in the right path to get you that dream job. And I think everyone would really benefit from listening to Ali's story here. What do you think?
Yeah, go for it. Let's play it.
Let's play it. I'm gonna just screen share quickly. Okay. So yeah, like you said, Ali's had a very interesting journey with us. He's been with us for many years. Even when he got his first job, he came back to us to ask for help and get a higher salary. So I think his story is very cool, and I think we should definitely start with that. So I'm going to play it and let him do the speaking now.
Yep.
It's given me great confidence working with the team at Apply For You. They've been able to go through my CV and really give me the answers that I needed to fill in the gaps where I might not have had the most clearest way of explaining what I've been doing in the past, my experience to date. Similarly, it's also about having the right role plays and scenarios that I can explain to the interviewer in the moment, and having it said in a chronological fashion that makes having the guidance there, being able to go for the right roles, be taught the right manner of the interview techniques, and get my CV in line.
I think the sound wasn't working.
Yeah, it went.
Sorry about that, guys.
Just play it again, move it to the second half of it.
Sorry?
I think the sound came back just before you turned it off. So if you want to play it again,
yeah,
just
play again. Let's just try it again.
For the best opportunities.
There we go.
Unfortunately, I've been able to get the jobs I want now.
No sound.
That's also having experts that apply for you.
Can someone? Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely say reach out to the team at Apply for You. It's really reassuring to know that there's a team there to be able to help you and guide you through the process. From the moment that they meet you, whether it's looking at your CV and helping you through that process of making it more relevant to the job you're going for, or even through the interview techniques that you'll need, it's really comforting to know that the experts are there to guide you for the specific jobs that you're going for. Because there will be a lot of applications, and it's being able to tailor it to the specific needs. I find that really reassuring, and that's what I would like to have known back then when I was starting off my journey in my career. I could have saved myself a lot of time and perhaps some bad interviews, and I spoke to the right experts here that applied for you.
Amazing.
Great, thanks for that, Joanna.
Yeah, do you want to add up?
Yeah, so I mean, look, I guess we're going to play some of these video testimonials rather than just me and you talking throughout, because I think that adds a lot of value for the guys here on the call today. That, it's really important that you guys understand that this is not just, 1 days of effort. We've been putting together these, helping people with their careers for many years now. I think it's come up to 17 to 20 years that we've been doing this. So, it's lovely to see, some of the reviews that you can see on our Trustpilot, Google, and other social media platforms, but also some of the guys that we've actually helped, because without success, without helping people progress in their careers, we're really not, that's the end goal, right? That's what we're most proud of. So I think that really does, give a lot back. So yeah, I think that's fantastic.
I think apart from the success stories, which tell a lot, I think everyone would really benefit from your story, since they're going to be taking advice from you and from me as well. But I think it'll be important to know what led you to recruitment, who you are, your background. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So look, thanks for that. I went through this journey myself many years ago. I didn't know what jobs to apply to, what career paths are right for me. I was spending hours searching for, those careers and those jobs, and not getting the successes and the results that I wanted. So, having witnessed this firsthand, I've got a real passion for helping people not go through the struggles that have to be. So, it is really important. How are we supposed to know what jobs to apply to? The turning point for me when I was going through that struggle, I'd just come out of university. I'd studied computer science, but I wasn't that keen on just being in front of computers all day. So, the turning point for me was when I started to speak to the recruiter. I met a good recruiter that I was quite impressed with. She was the expert, and I actually started listening to her. At first, you always go into these new relationships thinking that you know best, and I was the same. I was really the same. I used to listen in one ear and let it out the other ear. But I remember the one time that she put a job in front of me, and I was really not keen. I went to the website. I wasn't keen. I was thinking, that job is probably not the job that I want, and I said no to the interview. And she really pushed me. She really she was convincing me. She was trying her best, and she actually said, I remember, look, Iffy, you're in London anyway, so just go for the interview. It's 1 hour of your time. You've got nothing to lose, and do it for me. And I was like, okay, then I'll go for the interview. And I ended up going, and guess what? That's the job. I came out an hour later of the interview. They gave me a call. They made me an offer, and I was quite impressed. I looked at the company. Now being there, the people that I met, I was actually really impressed. I really liked it, and it opened my eyes. They made me an offer, and I negotiated with them. I told them, look, if you're that keen, give me more money. No audio.
Oh,
can they hear us? Can someone just confirm if you guys can hear us? Yeah. Yes. No.
Yeah. ZB, can you hear us now?
If anyone else
maybe
type in, just let us know if the sound's okay.
Oh, just fine. Yeah. Oh, amazing.
sorry. So just wrapping that up. So they made me an offer, and then I ended up accepting it, and that was the start of my career in recruitment. That was at Total Jobs Group, which a lot of people probably heard of. So it's we don't always know what we want. And I guess exploring, listening to the experts really opened my eyes, and that was my turning point. And that's why I believe that this model, and hence the name Apply For You, is that having experts to fall on or to go back to or to speak to during this huge decision of your life, especially when you're quite young. I think I was 21 or so when I started, this proper career search, so having those experts, having those recruiters to speak to really helped me. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Okay. And I guess... sorry, God.
No, I think what you said is really key. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that, to the struggles when they're first starting to look for a job. I think it's important to know that a career path is not linear. I learned that later on. I wish I knew that earlier. Mm-hmm. So whoever thinks that needs to change. Every job experience that you have will lead you somewhere. So it's important to keep that in mind. You mentioned that after speaking to the recruiter and with her little push, you're able to land a job and get paid more, which is so exciting. It's just that little push that sometimes you need. You don't even know that you can get there, but that push makes a real difference.
Yes, fantastic. And it really does. Just like I said, having that expert to speak to and to help you navigate through this journey was really beneficial to me. So hence why we really push this on our users, and we offer this service to our users, the expert coaching and the one-to-one coaching, because we know how valuable it is. It could be worth thousands to that user. Being in a dead-end job, earning 18,000 per year, or getting on a career path which can potentially earn you 30,000 a year is a huge jump. So I really believe the value is there for our users.
No, I agree. And a lot of people don't even know that. They're in a job there, maybe they don't like, or they're not earning, they feel underpaid, and they don't know that there's other options out there that you can actually get paid more. You can find a career that fulfills you, and just speaking to the right people will get you there. And I think that's the most important thing. And that's how we've helped so many candidates doing it.
Yep. I mean, we're getting thousands of new job seekers every day registering on our site and approaching us to help them. So, we're in a good place. We're not in need of any more candidates. What we're in need of is people that really want to engage and want to jump the ladder, jump up the career path. So that's what we're here hopefully to discuss today. And hopefully we're going to get into some of that stuff very shortly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think we need people that really want that really have that. They're striving, they really want that job. And I think that once you're there and once you feel that inside you, you're right to kickstart your career.
Yeah.
So I just put together a few facts here before we start into the actionable steps of this coaching session that I think are really important for people to bear in mind, because I don't think a lot of people will know this. That, for example, it takes 6 seconds on average for a recruiter to review CV. How crazy is that? 6 seconds.
Yeah, and it's true, you know. I mean, I look at a CV, and hopefully you're going to throw a few CVs at me of some of these people that are on the live today. But yeah, you'll see within 6 seconds I'll make a judgment on that person and on that person's CV, and it is crazy, but that is the reality of this. That your CV that you spend hours on preparing is judged within 6 seconds, and they will make a decision on, do they want to read more, do they want to call you, or are they going to move on to the next applicant? So yeah, as crazy as it is, but it's the reality. So people have to understand that. Yeah.
And that's one of the subjects that we're going to touch upon very, very soon, is how to, 6 seconds is nothing. So your CV needs to be really out there. It needs to be perfectly written. It needs to have everything so it can be noticed. And with a CV, then 80% of CVs are rejected before they even reach to the hiring manager. So you're not even being noticed. So if you don't have a good CV, you're just applying for jobs and that are getting you nowhere. So it's a waste of your time, a waste of money, a waste of time, a waste of effort that you put into your CV. So this is how I think speaking to an expert, and I can't say this enough, but speaking to an expert will literally get you there, because they know what they're doing. They've worked in thousands of CVs. I mean, how many CVs have you seen throughout your career? Probably loads of them. So
yeah,
what you're doing.
It's one of those things which, people you're being judged on your CV. Like you said, 80% of them are rejected before they even reach the hiring manager. So there are a lot of things that you have to be clear on your CV. We're going to go through some of these things today. But you've got to understand that technology is a huge part of the recruitment process now. So making sure that your CV is readable by these parsers and this technology that's being used is a crucial part to make sure that, you highlight your key stuff right at the top, so it can be picked up and then also be passed on to the hiring manager. So that's really important.
Yeah. And I think one last thing is important to mention is the interviews. I think is preparing. That's the one advice that I would give to everyone. Prepare, because like you can see, 39% of interviewing candidates make it through to the final interview. So, you go through this process and then you don't make it to the final interview. It's frustrating. So I think that's one of the things that we will give you throughout this live is how to really master an interview. So
yep, we're going to try to give as much as we can. Obviously, this is a live event, so we've got hundreds of people here, but it's more important, to really understand that, your interview can be successful, will be successful the more effort you put into it. Don't go in there blind. And I'm going to give you some real cool tips and tricks today that are going to help you throughout that process to hopefully make you one of that 39%.
100%. And I think one of the reasons most people end up in a job they hate is because they didn't start their career off on the right foot. So this is about giving you a plan, a strategy to really get you that job that you want. And this way you'll stop applying for everything and anything that you get, because that will get you nowhere, or will get you somewhere that you end up not like being. So you'll end up in a job that you don't actually enjoy. So on that note, let's get started. I think we should start with an overview of this 4-step formula to get hired. This is an improved and test formula that it's been used for years and has helped thousands of candidates to get their dream jobs. So I think you're the best person to just give us a little bit of a brief about what this 4-step entails.
Yeah, so obviously, look, like you said, this formula, this 4-step process, we've mastered this over many thousands of candidates and over many years. So the step 1 is going to be your CV, how to make your CV stand out. All right. A lot of people think their CV is perfect, and they know how to get the next job. But you've got to understand your CV is like your passport, and your experiences, qualifications, and achievements are your visa. So without having a passport and the visa for that country, you're not going to get in, right? Same thing with the job. If you don't have your CV and your experience and your achievements and your qualifications highlighted, you're not going to get the job. So the CV is a really important step, and you have to make your CV stand out. So there's always rooms for improvement. We'll look at a couple of CVs together, and I'm sure even if I open up my own CV, I will find certain things that I can improve on. So there's always room for improvement in everyone's CV.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of a CV. And like we said previously, it takes 6 seconds for a recruiter to actually look at your CV. So if you don't get that right, then it's not going to take you to the next step, which is job search, which you also need to plan in a structure here. And I think there's no point of having a great CV if you're not doing the correct job search. So I think you're the best person to introduce that step.
Yeah. How to best job search and stay motivated through your job search. That's step 2. And if you've got a great CV and you're not getting it in front of the hiring managers, then it's like having a beautiful restaurant that you've spent thousands of pounds on building, but keeping the doors closed. So, you've got to understand that the step 2 is do it with a strategic approach. Don't just machine gun, your CV out everywhere. Have a strategic approach on which jobs to apply to, and set yourself a daily target on how many jobs to apply, and then follow it up. So that's what we'll be talking about in a lot more detail.
Amazing. Yeah, I think what I like to call is that thing that people do, which is apply for anything and everything they find, which is I couldn't tell more that how wrong is that, because it will literally get you nowhere. And the third step is how to nail your job interviews. For some reason, it's not written there. It's a human error. Yeah. So you've gone through your CV, you found the jobs that you apply, that you love, you found your passion. So now it's time to really nail those interviews. What does this step entail?
Yeah, so you have to nail your interviews. Otherwise, what's the point, right? You spent the time on writing up your CV, getting your CV perfect. You've then applied to many jobs, or you've applied to the job of your dreams, and now you have the interview. If you don't shine like a diamond at this stage, then all your efforts have gone to waste. So remember to walk into the interview confidently, believing in yourself that this is the job, you're going to get this job. This job is for you. So believe in it. But also have, the understanding that you've got nothing to lose. So don't be stressed about it. You've got nothing to lose. You don't walk in there with the job. So what's the worst thing that can happen? You're going to walk out without a job. So, you've just got to have that belief and the guts to be able to do it, and do it confidently. And I'll give you a few tips on that today as well.
Amazing. And the fourth step, which probably a lot of people are wondering, that's not an actionable step, but it is, because after you get hired, you need to stay hired. So that is also very important, right?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, and also, in getting the job, it's not about the company just offering you a job and you saying, yes, please, can I start tomorrow? There is a negotiating step. There's a step where you set up competition to make sure you get hired. A lot of people go in maybe coming across a little bit desperate. And when you go in like that, then that pushes people away, and it pushes the company away, thinking that this person will be always available. So to get hired, you should set up some competition. I'm going to give you a bit of a tip on that as well. And then once you do get the job and you do start, making sure you start with the right foot forward, so you actually last in the job. We've had, I'll give you a quick example. We've had people that started a job, they were over the moon. They went out drinking with their bosses and their peers that very first Friday, and then ended up getting fired on the Monday morning because of that. So just, bear in mind, getting hired, it's still part of the process. It's still an actionable step to last in that job and making sure you continue success.
100%, I agree. And now you know the formula. Obviously, we will go into actionable steps, step by step, very, very shortly. But you understand, I think it's just to keep in mind that a job hunt is a process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Obviously, we have experts that can give you that opportunity to make this process quicker, stress-free, because in the end of the day, we want you to enjoy it, right? You don't want to be frustrated when you're looking for a job, because it's your dream job. You should be able to enjoy it. And anyway, this is a real investment in your career. And, you know, by taking action today, a year from now, you look back on your decision and, you know, you have turned your life around with the decision that you make today. So I think that's very, very important to keep in mind before we jump into our actionable steps. So I think maybe we could also play a testimony. I think it will, before we jump into the actionable stuff, I think it'll be very good for our users to see another, because the other one, I think some people missed the beginning. So, and will help understand the steps better as well. So let's just quickly share another video. If anyone could confirm the sound is working.
I think it's fantastic. Yeah, that's given me a lot of insight into what I need to do moving forward and building up a bit more experience with Flock as well. It's helpful. I feel like very clear advice makes sense to me. That this is the kind of stuff that they would want to hear about, and it also helps me integrate more of my value that I can offer to them, because that's what I really wanted to get across, but I wasn't really sure how to, so now I can. Well, before the call I was kind of hesitant with the CVs, and I just wasn't really sure what I was doing, to be honest. The energy I was kind of trying to put forward was a bit sporadic. Now I feel like it's a lot more focused, a lot more me. Definitely. Yeah, why? Because it's like you can have a lot of potential, but this helps you actualize it. Because without any of these changes being made, it's like I have a load of potential back here, but it's not really in the document where it needs to be.
I think for me is a great example. Like, I think someone asked earlier, they didn't really know, what about if I don't know what I want to do? We will speak about it very shortly, but I think it's just about knowing yourself, find out what you like, what your passion is. And we were able to help Femi to get there, to find what he actually enjoys doing.
Yeah, no, that's another good example. So let's jump straight into
let's start
the CV step.
So everyone, I hope you're ready to take notes, because this will be very useful for you to bear in mind. So obviously you've seen a lot of CVs. What do you think are one of the most common mistakes people do when they writing a CV?
Yeah. So look, the very first step of making your CV stand out is research. Okay. You've got to first research. You've got to know yourself firstly researching yourself, right? So know yourself. What are your passions? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Focus on obviously what you like, and those keywords, those assets should be on your CV. Okay, that's the first step, to really understand your skills, your abilities, your transferable skills that you should be able to mention on the CV. All right, that's step number one of the research. Then also you need to understand the industries and job titles that you're actually looking for. You know, you match up your industries and the job title. So if I'm really good at building relationships, speaking to people, then I would want to look at sales jobs like sales executive or sales manager. You know, if I'm good at sales and I'm also good at leading people, or I enjoy leading people. So, you know, you really match up your likes, your experiences and your achievements with real life jobs that are available in the market. Okay. And then the last part of the research that I would do is utilizing those keywords and those job titles in my CV. Use the same language, because that is the language that will match up your CV with your job search and then help you get the interview. All right. So that's the first step of the CV. If you move to the second slide, so research first, then it is plan the structure. So it needs to be, your CV needs to be in a structured format that is, like I said, very, very clear to the reader. So remember we said at the start that it's only within 6 seconds, your key achievements need to come clear to the reader. All right. Your key achievements, your key skills, the job titles, your objective. So how are we going to get that all in the first 6 seconds? It's crazy, right? But it is possible. So what you do is you make your structure very clean. You start with your personal profile, which includes some of your personality traits, some of your soft and hard skills, your achievements right at the top. So I'm the top salesperson in the company. I'm the first in, last out. I am the hardest working person, or one of the hardest working people here. You bring that all right at the top in your personal profile, which is the bit at the top, which is a couple of lines or a paragraph. A personal profile, some people call it personal statement. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but make sure that's right at the top. And end that section with an objective. I am now looking to get into X, Y, and Z. Okay.
I think,
Then in your CV, you move into the career history, which is a short paragraph of each of your jobs in most recent first order. All right. Now, these should be short paragraphs about each of the jobs and experiences that you have, and make sure you include achievements in each of those roles. Now, when we talk about responsibilities, please don't write on your CV things like making the coffee or dealing with the fax machine or dealing with the mail. All right. I see these things too often. Those are not things that are going to sell your experiences. So focus on your salesy, have a salesy mentality. Your CV is a sales document. It's a sales pitch about yourself. It's a marketing pitch about yourself. That's how you want to think about it. So making coffees isn't really something, unless you're going for a coffee making job, it's not really something that's going to sell your skills. All right. The things that will sell your skills is making sure the office was performing, making sure everyone was happy in the work environment if you're going for an admin type of job. Hopefully that makes sense. Then you list out your education, list out the qualifications and grades, especially if they're positive. All right. And then don't forget, and a lot of people do forget, the last section that I think is hugely important, which is hobbies and interests. So this is the only place on your CV where the reader starts to get to know your personality, starts to understand the ins and outs about yourself. All right. So it's really important to build a relationship with the reader here, where you might mention, don't just write on there reading, watching movies, write on there something like, I'm the captain of my five-a-side football team. I enjoy reading fictional novels or business related books, such as, give some examples. So really start to build a relationship with the reader. Okay, so that is the second step, which is plan, or the second part of your CV, which is the planning step.
I just want to add up quickly to that. I think a lot of people forget that a CV is not just writing down all of your achievements. Obviously, it's very important, but it's about selling yourself. It's about telling the company why you're better fit for that role than other people that are applying for the same role, and what value you'll bring to the company. So I just want everyone to keep that in mind, because it's very important when you're writing your CV.
Yep, 100%. And then what you do is put it all together, which sounds easier than it is. but try to be concise, ideally 2 pages if possible. Some people have a really long experience or a lot of experience, so it might be more, but try to ideally keep it to 2 pages. Okay, use bullet points where they make sense. Highlight, and I stress this a lot, highlight your key achievements. That's what people want to hear about. It's what you achieved in your previous jobs is more important than what you did. It's actually what you achieved. That's what you want to focus on predominantly. All right. And unique selling points. So if it was I'll give you a quick example. If I was applying for a Portuguese speaking job, then Joanna should get that job over me because she speaks Portuguese. I don't. So make sure that your unique selling points are listed, when you're putting your CV together. All right. And the last thing is obviously do a spell check. Make sure you've got good grammar. The font is all the same in the CV. No spelling mistakes, obviously. And that is pretty much the CV part done. All right. A lot of our guys, do this themselves, and most people would have a CV already. And our experts are here to help you guys maximize it, make it perfect. A professionally written CV by us tends to get 2 or 3 times the amount of interviews of someone's own CV. So, those that are looking to have the one-to-one coaching will benefit from a professionally written CV by us.
I completely agree. And it's easy how just a few tweaks and switches can make a whole difference in the CV and really put you at the forefront of other CVs for the hiring manager or the companies, whoever is recruiting you. So yeah, I think that's very important. And I think we should jump into the next step. I think one of the biggest mistakes most people do when they start looking for a job is not tailoring to their interests, is applying for anything and everything and just hoping that they will get an answer, which is completely wrong. And a lot of people do this. So I think having your opinion on this subject is really very, very important. And for those who are struggling for jobs, we've had a few questions asking here, what if I don't know what career path I want to follow? If you want to give some advice on that, I think it'd be very useful as well.
Yep. And if you want to jump to the next slide and move straight into that. So the second step, like we said, of this magic formula that we've come up with is your job search. All right. So the first part of your job search is the search plan. So it's choosing the right career path. Invest time now. Don't keep investing time every 2 or 3 years of your life. So invest time now by really thinking, what is the best career path, the best ladder to choose from? So if we've got loads of ladders, imagine each job or each career path is a different ladder. All right. If you choose the right career path first time, then you start climbing up that ladder. Whereas if you don't invest the time now, then you're going to come down that ladder and have to start at the bottom of another ladder. So that's why I really believe in making sure that the investment of your time is now. Early stage of your job search is to invest the time now in choosing which career path is right for you. A lot of people ask, how do we go about it? How do we choose the right career path? Well, you know what? It's actually quite simple. You need to sit down with yourself. Sometimes having an expert or your family around is really helpful, and asking questions. What do I like? Do I like working indoors? Do I like working outdoors? Do I like, because if you, let's use a very clear example. If I like working indoors, like in an office, then I need to look for an office style job. If I like being outdoors and being active, then I can look for a laborer type or a construction type of job. So, making these decisions now is super important. Okay, because imagine if I'm more of an indoor type person and I don't like being outdoors, and then I went for a construction type of job, guess what? I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to change my job within a few weeks, months, or years. Yeah. So really do invest, and I don't want to overstress the point, but I do want to stress the point is invest this time now. Okay, where available, our experts do spend a lot of time with the career advice call to make sure that we give our advice and we help people, dissect what they like and what they don't like, and then match them up to job titles and industries that suit them. Okay, so that's really important. The second part of it, obviously, once you have decided on what jobs to apply for is to start to apply to those jobs. We've already got the CV done, right? We've got the CV done. The CV is perfect. Now it's about applying for those jobs and staying motivated. And the best way to do that is give yourself a target. It might be 10 jobs a day that you're going to apply to. Maybe spend an hour a day that you're going to do it, and do strike while the iron's hot. Don't do one application every week or every month. That's too slow, right? So be motivated. Do 10. Give yourself a realistic target that you can keep to, and apply to as many jobs that are relevant as you can. Okay, you do that. You might do that for a couple of days or a week, and you should be getting successes. If you're not getting success, then my advice is to stop. Stop. Fix it. There's a problem somewhere. Fix that problem and then try again. All right. And obviously, if you can't find the problem, why it's not working, if it's the career path or your CV or whatever it is, then speak to the experts, because they'll be able to dissect where the problems lie. I've had so many people, Joanna, over the years come to me saying, hey, I've applied to hundreds of jobs and I'm not getting any feedback. I'm not getting any responses. And then the first thing I do is have a look at their CV, and their CV is all over the place. It doesn't make sense. So they've lost it in that first 6 seconds. And the reason why I say stop, and I'm very forthcoming with, when I tell people my opinion, because that's the best way to learn, right? Rather than, hiding behind the bush, it's better to just understand where the problems lie. I see it very clearly that their CV is all over the place. And don't forget, they've got 6 seconds to grab someone's attention.
Yeah.
The most important thing is, once you've applied once to a company, you can't really keep applying to them. If they've said no to you once, then, you can't apply to them the next week again. So it's better to stop, fix the problems, and then start applying again. All right.
I agree. And the strategy, a plan will take you further more in your career journey than just start applying for everything that you find. And I couldn't agree more. It takes 6 seconds to for a recruiter to see your CV. So it is crazy how quick that's done. And we will obviously go through that as well. You'll go through some CVs, and we have some interesting ones where you can give your advice, your tips. And to anyone that's asking questions on the chat, we will be answering them in the end. So just keep them coming, and we will make sure that we'll answer to any questions coming. And I think it's time to play our next testimonial. What do you think? Or should we jump?
Yeah, go for it.
Amazing. Do you want to give a little bit while I set up about the Sean?
Yeah, so you'll now meet Sean, another recent candidate that we've been working with. Really, really cool guy. Was struggling to get results before he engaged with us, and very quickly he starts seeing the results. So yeah, just play it.
Is it?
I mean, the whole experience has been really good. I got an email from, I think there was a woman named Sam, saying, hey, I've seen your TV and I think you're really good and I'm sure we could work together. Maybe you can give me a call. And I called, and then I got hold of AK. He spoke to me and then looked at my CV. He said, you've definitely got potential here. These are the different products that we have that could help you. Then obviously speaking to you was, I think the sort of, might sound a bit harsh, the ruthless you have in the sense of telling me the way the facts are, which is actually how it should be heard, really helped. Then I said, okay, no, CV is not working. Let me change my CV. Do it. Looked at the difference. Immediately Monday, I sent the finished product off. Immediately within the next day at 12 o'clock, you get a phone call. Yeah, we're really interested in you. I'm like, what the hell? I've been trying to get traction. It's like working straight away. The video coaching definitely helps, as you said in the beginning, the 3 questions I was like warming up. Well, the main thing was that the CV was mind-blowing. I mean, I thought I had a pretty good CV. I think I was a little bit too flowery, talking around the point and sort of subtly hinting that I did this and that. And with my new CV, CV. It's right there, straight in the black and white. Not too rude or too indirect, but like right to the point. And then obviously interview process really just telling me what could come up, what are the things that are going to come up. The last thing just from our little conversation is also I can control the conversation. If I constantly they don't even have to talk. If I just constantly tell them things of what I'm doing, going through the CV again, I might prioritize like this and this and that, just tell them exactly like you can run through a whole story of what it could possibly be, and then at the end wait for them to react. Definitely. I think the main thing for me was the coaching and how just through rewording your CV can help. That was the main thing, and also the attention to my sort of my branch of work that I do, the industry that I'm in. That was another good thing that you guys did your research about it and stuff like that.
Fantastic. So, I mean, I guess with that testimony, you can really see that Sean was like many of our other users, I'm guessing, that believe their CV was fine. I mean, if that's one of you, why don't we have a poll for yes, no? Are you, or 1 and 2? 1, if you say that you think your CV is perfect, like Sean did before he engaged with us, and 2 for if you think your CV needs work. So that would be really good if the guys can just put that 1 or 2 in the chat box so I can understand.
Yeah, we did put it earlier, a question, but I'll put another one.
Yeah, that'll be good. Because Sean was a great case study in regards to not really or thinking that his search was going well, and he was applying for months, right? You heard him say it. But as soon as we worked with him and engaged with him, we realized that and he realized that, you know what, by making these changes, it really does, it really does improve your search. And like he said, it was mind blowing that he started to get calls 12 o'clock the next day, which is absolutely brilliant. So I'm confident in the, what we did with Sean, and I'm confident we can do that with all our other users also. Okay.
It is really crazy how just, like I said, just a few touches can make a whole difference. Within 24 hours, he was getting calls. How crazy. But it's really rewarding to hear those stories. It means that we're doing something really great here, and we're running a little bit out of time, so let's jump into our next step, which is the interview stage, which is one of the most important.
Yeah, and one of my favorites. So there's not many. There's not many companies that offer. There's a lot of companies that help with the CV, okay, but then they get the CV right, but they, a lot of people then fail at the interview step, and it's actually one of my favorites because without doing this step well, then everything else is pointless, right? Everything else is pointless. The interview is what gets you the job. So remember, when you go for the interviews, first impressions do count. Make sure that you dress to impress. Make sure that you smile and have eye contact. Don't slouch in the back of the chair. Sit forward. Show that you're serious. Show that you're ready for this career. Show that you really want it. So that's the first checklist, or what you want to do when you go for the interview. All right. Then the second thing I think is going into research on the next slide. So don't go into your interview underprepared or not prepared. Make sure that you prepare for the interview. Research the company, research the person that you're interviewing with. A quick LinkedIn search of the person should highlight, who you're interviewing. And what you can do is, by actually researching them and looking at their LinkedIn profile, you will see the keywords and language that he's using in his LinkedIn profile or her LinkedIn profile, and you use the same in your interview. And by doing that, you're going to build a lot of synergy, and the person's going to like you more, because if they don't like you in the interview, you're not getting the job. So do make sure that you are prepared for success. Our experts and myself, we really do focus on this step in our one-to-one coaching. And we actually go through one-to-one mock interviews, which are done over Zoom, a bit like this, to really help users. We ask them questions that are related to the interviews they have, and then we give them real life, personalized feedback on that so they can actually improve their answers and do well in their next interviews. All right. One magic tip, which Joanna has on the screen now, which I just want to leave everyone with, is remember this. You've got to be confident when you go for this interview. If you're not confident, you're not going to get the job. All right. We did a study, or we've been doing this study for many, many years. Okay. What is confidence? How do people judge someone's confidence? And if you take away one thing today, then take this away, please. All right. Because too many people, if you ask yourself, how do you think people judge you or judge your confidence? They're going to focus on it's what I'm saying, the words. But the words actually only account to 18% of what someone thinks of you. So don't worry too much about the words. As long as you're using the keywords relevant to your job search, the keywords relevant to your industry, you're going to get 18 out of 18. Don't try to use long-winded words or words that you don't even know the meaning of. Just keep it simple, okay? And you'll get 18 out of 18. The second part is your tone. And the tone only accounts for 20%. To get 20 out of 20, all you need to do is vary your tone, a bit like Mariah Carey when she's singing a song. Vary your tone, go up, go down, depending on what you're speaking about. Just do not speak in a monotone at the same tone throughout. Otherwise, you're going to bore everyone and they're going to leave. Yeah, a bit like what I just did there. Make sure you vary your tone, up and down, okay? And the last one and the most important one to remember is energy. Now, energy includes your enthusiasm, your body language, your belief. All right. That accounts for 60% of what someone thinks about you. So make sure you have that belief. Make sure you have that energy, that enthusiasm for this job. And then you will get 60 out of 60. All right. So remember that. Remember this. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. All right. And that will display confidence. I hope that adds value to everyone in the next interview. All right.
I think that's a great advice to everyone. When you first told me about this research that you've been doing for years, I was mind blown how actually, the energy that you put into your interview makes a big difference. And that's exactly what you teach on the one-to-one coaching. And there's someone already that is interested in finding out more, which we will be telling very, very shortly how you can get in touch with us. But yeah, I think anything is possible. We have the experts here. Their job is the job. So they do this for a living. They know what they're doing and what best source of advice they could go for than the experts. So we're getting to the final step of this formula, which is get hired and stay hired. How do you last in the job?
Yeah. So the first thing here on the last step of this magic formula is to remember that to get hired, you need to get the job. And to get the job, you need to close the interviewer. Too many people just go give an interview and leave the office and then never hear back, which is a shame. So make sure you close them. Don't be afraid to ask, do you think I have what it takes? What are the next steps? Ask them, because from that, you're going to get instant feedback. You're going to see it on their face if they're interested or not. And if you're getting a negative response from them, then go again. Push them again. Remind them of the key things that you bring to the table, the belief that you have. Make sure you bring that to the forefront, and then hopefully you get that job. So don't forget to close them. The other thing that you should do at this stage of getting hired is to set up competition. They may ask you how your job search is going. And at that point, you would say stuff like, yeah, really well. I've got about 3 offers on the table. Set up competition, because if people have to compete for you, they're going to want to move quicker. They're going to want to offer you. They might even offer you on that very day. All right. So that's part of the getting the job or getting hired. And then I think the next slide moves on into lasting in the job, which is really important. Obviously, no point in getting the job and getting fired the very next day. Make sure you start strong. All right. Start with the right foot forward. Do your research on the company and the job that you're going to be doing so you come prepared. Okay. Don't start learning on the job, start working beforehand. Give extra time at the start. Don't I think too many people start off too slow. So make sure that you give extra time, extra effort at the start. And the last thing I really want to stress here is make sure that you speak often with the leadership, establish their expectations, get regular feedback from them. And ask them questions, not silly questions, but ask them questions. How did that call go? Where do you think I can improve? So that way you're setting yourself up for success long term. All right. So hopefully that is a good end to, the 4 major steps that we've disclosed today.
So I think before we go into our one-to-one coaching, maybe show a few more reviews, or should we just jump into the...
Yeah, I mean, we started 5 minutes late, so let's just go into let's go straight into, I think the guys have seen enough testimonials now.
Yeah.
We're offering we're gonna make a special offer today for those people that have already started investing in their career by coming on the live, and we're offering £101 off our one-to-one expert coaching. Okay, so
I just want to say before we jump into this, before anything, I just want to congratulate everyone that come in today. And this is a very, very good opportunity here for you. I think for some after today, they'll go back to their old lives, just wait for some more information, read more blogs, just try and figure out and wonder why they can't live the lives they always wanted. And for others, they will never go back. They've taken that first step to an extraordinary career, which is coming here today and then speaking to the experts, that extra step that'll get you there, and they're ready to create their own pivotal moments of their career for the rest of their lives. So I think this is a very, very good opportunity, to help you. And this is what we do most of the times. We get so excited with new things, and when we're confronted with a real trustworthy opportunity, we just often don't act and just keep struggling with what's never worked before. So for us, we just wanted to give something special for everyone in this live, for taking that 1 hour of your time to really take that next step to your career, to get your dream job. And like Ify said, we're offering £101 off. And our expert, I think I'll let you go through what our one-to-one expert coaching really is about, so they know.
So Penny's already asking what would the price be after the £101 off. It actually, today's special, it is normally £378. With the £101 off, it will be £277. Okay, this is for one-to-one expert coaching. I'll go through obviously those steps that we're going to do, and the 4 steps we're going to follow anyway. But the most important thing here is that what I will offer is for the first 3 people that buy today, Joanna will post the link in the chat in a second. I will do personally the coaching with them. So I'll professionally write the CV. I'll do the steps are there. The career advice coaching call, which will be done personally by me. Then your CV will be professionally written, again by me. And then we'll do the experts will help with the job search, which won't be me, will be me and my team. And then the expert one-to-one interview coaching will be conducted by me. So that's for the first 3 people that buy today. Otherwise, the experts are here. We have several experts that will be able to help you with your search, to help you get hired. All right, that's the most important thing. I hope the ones that don't want to do the one-to-one coaching have benefited from the live today and have seen some things that they can improve on and taken away some good takeaways. But the others that do want to jump in and have one-to-one coaching hopefully can benefit from the special offer, and we can get going, even today or tomorrow. All right.
No, sounds great. And I really couldn't agree more. I think for those who are ready to take the next step, this is a great opportunity. It's a one-to-one coaching. And for those who are not ready yet, on our website, on our social media pages, we offer a lot of advice, a lot of guidance for you as well. So feel free to pop in there and visit us as well. But yeah, like Ify said, the first 3 people who book one-to-one coaching with us will be guided by Ify and our team. We'll guide you throughout your whole journey and find a job, which obviously we've shown, hopefully through our stories, our 6 stories, that it is possible to get what you want. And maybe I think we should answer some of the questions.
Yeah, so those people that, I mean, obviously, sorry for running a little bit late. Martin, we
Yeah.
apologize for the mistakes today. Obviously, this is our first live, so hopefully it will improve hereafter. And our live sessions will get better and better and better. But one thing we can guarantee is that we will get results. You know, we will help you get results, and we're not here to just throw ourselves out there. You know, I want to be able to really help people not only on the CV but also with the whole job search process, you know, getting them on the career ladder of their dreams. And that's what we've proven to do over the years. So I'm pretty sure we can do that with everyone. Once again, apologies for a few mistakes that we've had during the live event, but I'm sure things will get better, but most importantly, helping the guys get on their career ladder. So, that's why the one-to-one is our speciality, and that's what we're offering today.
I think if whoever's happy to stay here, it would be very great. But I think maybe we should do a quick CV review. What do you think? I think.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for those that are joined and the ones that don't want to see the CV advice bit. But we spent 5 minutes just looking at a few CVs because we had a couple of people send them, or quite a few people send them in. So Joanna, do you want to pull up a few CVs and let's have a quick look?
So I'll start with this one.
So what I do is, as you bring these CVs up, Joanna, we'll just spend a couple of seconds on each one. Obviously, time is short. Just to give one or two quick feedback on those CVs, so they can take something away, and the rest we'll do in the one-to-one coaching when those guys are ready, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting it ready. Sorry. I think we had a few questions in the chat as well.
Yeah, I can answer those questions while you bring them up.
Someone asked about if they want to get a job, does it have to be related to university at all, to the university degree they've studied at?
Well, no. It doesn't have to be related. It really matters about what they want to do. So if they want to go down what they've studied, then that's perfect, because then they can use their university degree and you can really highlight their experiences and the subjects they studied during university to get them on that career ladder. Some people might not want to go on what they studied at university. So it really, that career advice part is so important, that they choose the right career first. And then once you've chosen that right career path, you then look at your experiences or your university or the jobs you've had to get you on that career ladder.
Amazing. So I'm ready to screen share. Let me. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So, all right. So we have the CV here. Looks like a decent enough personal profile. Now, one thing I'd say straight away on this CV, I don't know if other people can pick it up, but the formatting. So by using these boxes, really understand that nowadays most companies use technology to pass data from the CV, so it picks up bits of the CV like the most recent work experience, job titles, etc. By having this table format, some systems will break or not pick up the CV's details correctly. So I'm not fond of the formatting. I would go with a more simple format on this CV, which would definitely increase the results. Okay. I do like the way they've highlighted some aspects of their experience, so that's really good. Work experience, you can see he was on a career break, so he's made that very clear, not having a gap, so that's good. Then you've got 2020 to 2021 fixed term contract. Hasn't put the job title there, which is one thing I would add. Fixed term contract doing what? So what was the job title? That's really important. Yeah. And then if you scroll down, so I'll definitely remove that bit on the left, the highlights in that section. What's this? Financial business consultant. So you've got the job title, but then March till date. So, and then scroll down again, because that's a bit confusing, that job. 2014, 2019. So the dates here are, the order of the jobs is a little bit confusing. So depending on, I'm not, obviously we have to speak to this individual to see, what is the career history, but depending on what type of job they're looking for, that career history needs to be fixed, basically. It needs to be put across properly with the most recent job at the top. And if there's two, maybe one is a fixed term contract and one is a permanent job, I'm not sure. But depending on which job they're looking to get into, that is the one I'll bring to the top. And then make it flow, because don't forget, if I'm going to spend 6 seconds looking at that CV, and if I'm already confused, I'm probably not going to bother calling them. I'm going to call someone with a more simplistic and a clear CV. Okay.
Amazing. No, that's great advice. And it's just little things, but those little things will make a difference. Let's jump into the next one, to the next CV.
So Martin, again, isn't quite comfortable with this. And I think maybe we can speak to Martin offline and have a good conversation with him. Martin, I'm more than willing to speak to you to give you some, have a look at your profile individually and to see if you feel like it is, value being added to your specific situation. If you haven't got value from today, then, thanks for giving us the time and, trying this out. But I'm pretty sure if we had a one-to-one, we'll be able to discuss some, fixes or some improvements in your current job search. Okay, so thanks for giving us the time today. So looking at this CV, Joanna, that you've got in front of us now, instantly you can see a more clearer format. So that's definitely good. So that's really good. Looking to further film and media-based roles. So you can see that he wants to get into film and media. So that's good. He's got a good career, a good adaptive in there, so that's brilliant. And then when we look at his career history, employment history, parking host, which isn't relevant, and then we've got customer service assistant. Okay, and then if you scroll down a little bit to 2013. Okay, and then so he's got this additional experience. If you see part-time, scroll, where was that gone? Yeah, part-time press coordinator journalist. So this seems to be the one that's the most relevant, and it seems like this is the one that he's still doing up till present. So if this is what he's looking to carry on in, and he is doing it present, although it's part-time, I would probably bring that as the first job. Okay, so again, we'll speak to this user if he came on the one-to-one coaching and would understand his career goals and his career history to restructure the CV to bring the most recent relevant job to the top. That way you'll get better responses. Really simple.
Amazing. I think we should spend some time maybe answering some questions. What do you think? I think we had really good questions throughout the webinar, and I think users would benefit from that.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, if there's some questions, do you want to just throw them at me?
Yeah, so should work experience be above your education, or it doesn't matter in what order Odile is asking?
So it depends on the individual. So if their education is the most recent, so they've just come out of university and they haven't got any work experience, then that is the only time I would really bring education above work history. Otherwise, try to get your work history first and education below.
Amazing. And another question. Another question that we had here.
Thanks, Martin.
Do you also help people in finding a position that maybe matches or correlate with the work experience they've had in the past or not?
Yeah, 100%. It's really what they're looking for. So if they're looking for a job similar to what they've already done, then of course that's what we're going to focus on, and that's what our experts do. So when our experts do job searching for our users, they look at not only jobs that are advertised, because anyone can do that, they also look at companies, direct employers that recruit for people of similar nature. And then the third thing they do is they also look at agencies that recruit for companies of that nature. So then they have a list of three things. They have a list of jobs, they have a list of direct employers, and they have a list of agencies. By having those three and getting the CV in front of those three audiences, they should be able to quite instantly get results. But
amazing.
Obviously the CV is fine first, right? Don't do that step of getting your CV out there without your CV first being at the level that you want it to be.
Amazing. So Odile asked another question. What part-time jobs would you advise a uni student to get whilst being at uni?
So I would definitely suggest, again, thinking about which is the career path you're going to go into after university, and try getting a part-time job of similar nature. Even if it is, a part-time job where you're not earning much money or you're mentoring someone within that space, that's definitely worth it now. It's worth it now, because when you come out of university and you're looking for that job, if you can show that you didn't spend time in McDonald's and Marks and Spencer's, you spent time mentoring or working within a solicitor's firm because you want to become a solicitor, you're going to get better success when you're applying at that point.
Amazing. And we have another question that just got through. Do you recommend calling hiring managers directly?
100%.
On that?
100%. Once you've applied to the job, then definitely chase them for feedback. After a day, maybe even after a few hours, give them a call and say, hey, I just sent you over my CV. What were your thoughts? I've got a few interviews around your office next week. So I was wondering, is there a possibility for me to pop in? So, these are the type of things that are going to make you stand out. So good question, Lewis, and definitely something I would advise on.
Amazing. Just so 2 more questions before we wrap up. So what if you're in your late 40s, what would you suggest?
Well, look, age is just a number. Age is just a number. It's about how you feel and what you're looking to do. Obviously, when you're, when you've had already a good career, then you might want to carry on. You might want to carry on that career path, so again, look at your individual situation. What is it that you're looking to do? You might not want to jump or change career paths at that point. You might want to carry on down the career path you're at, but I've seen people do it either way. Some people have then excelled, especially when we start to have more experiences and more life experiences, then we become better leaders. We're able to use our experiences to help others on their journey. So it might be, as we have more experiences, that you bring something else to the table, more of a leadership, mentoring, coaching. These things I think are definitely good the more experiences we start to have.
No, I agree. It's the value they bring to the company. Like I said, in the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Age is just a number, and what you bring to that company, the results you bring to that company, that will make a big difference. So we have a few other questions here. So everyone's so after applying for a job, do I send them a thank you note, or after they call me for a fun conversation?
Yeah, I mean, look, try to build relationships with the interviewers and the direct employer, the contacts that you have, so yes, why not? Send them a thank you note, appreciate their time. Someone told me that when he used to go for interviews, he used to say hello and hi, and he's one of the best people, he's a multi-millionaire now. He used to go in and really give the same amount of respect and time to the receptionist as he did to the director and owner of the business. I remember once he told me that he took in donuts and gave them to everyone. So, by doing that, you're going to be liked. They're going to like you, right? And if they like you, you've got a chance of a job. If they don't like you, trust me, they're not going to give you the job. So, yes, a thank you note, appreciating their time, giving them a call. All these things matter. When you see a pop-up on LinkedIn that they've had their work anniversary or they've been promoted, sending a little, congratulations message, all these things do matter. So
I agree. I think the people that apply for jobs will definitely benefit from a follow-up after applying for a job, because that will put you at the forefront of other candidates, because I bet not a lot of people remember to do that. So it's that little touch that will make a difference. And our last question is, any suggestions to search for companies specifically that sponsor visa?
Okay, yeah. We actually did that for one of our users quite recently, and there are ways to find companies that sponsor. So there are, you can do Google searches, which will give you, yield you some results. Our experts are really good at actually pulling a list together of relevant companies that have the sponsorship license, because in the UK you must first apply for a license that gives you gives the employer the ability to sponsor people from overseas. Once that company has that license, then they can hire people. Okay, so Yes, do Google searches. That's my first suggestion. Get in front of those companies, apply to those jobs. Don't even matter if they don't have a job listed, still get your CV in front of them, because obviously you're limited. You can only go after those companies. So start building a relationship with them right away. Okay. And again, Danilo, if you are interested in our one-to-one expert coaching, then I can get the guys to actually research relevant companies that have the sponsorship license within your space and start applying to them on your behalf. Okay.
Yeah, I think Michael is also interested on one-to-one coaching, so feel free to get in contact with us. And do we have more time to answer a few more questions? Or
Well, let's go for a couple more if we have.
Yeah. So how to negotiate on salary in a way I don't have a negative impact in a way.
Yeah. So look, what you want to do is you want to be careful. If this question is asked at the start of the interview, then they might just want to eliminate you from that process. Okay. So if it is asked at the start of the interview, then just leave a range. Don't say, oh, it needs to be 40K, because they might just turn around and say, well, we're not paying that. Thank you. Goodbye. So leave a range on the table, or talk about what you're currently on, so then they can judge what to pay you for the future. Okay. So if it's towards the end of the interview and you've gone through 1, 2, or 3 interviews or with them already, then you can be a little bit more confident talking about salary, because you know that they've already invested time with you, right? So if they've already invested time with you, then they're quite keen. Hopefully they're quite keen on hiring you. So at that point, if they're asking you what salary are you looking for, I would go for my higher end. I would try to negotiate. I would say something like, I'm getting offers on the table around 40K. What is it that you're looking to pay? And they might come up with, yeah, that's totally fine, we'll beat that. Or they might say, well, we're realistically looking to pay 35. And then you can say, okay, look, that's fine. Are there any other perks of this job? So don't feel afraid to negotiate, as long as you're being open about it. Don't have a closed scenario with salary. Don't say it needs to be 40K or above, because then you might get eliminated. So be open about it, because get the offer on the table. Once you have offers, then you can decide which is the best one. So don't push jobs away at early stages, because I've seen it where companies have limitations. It might be 30K that they can offer because they need to keep everyone at the same level. But then what a company would do to make sure that they get that superstar is offer them a guarantee or a bonus or something for them to come join in, which is, again, worthwhile. So you're still going to get that salary that you're looking for.
Amazing. And I think one last question, and I think we should wrap up, because we're going 25 minutes over, and I'm sure people want to get on with their day. So do the CV scanning programs have issues with the boxes in all formats of files, even PDFs? Dominic is asking.
So look, technology is getting better. PDFs are now readable by technology, whereas before, a few years ago, PDFs used to really struggle. So I'm not really too fussed about all CVs being in docx, but that is the preferred format. If I had a choice of docx, which is Word docx, or PDF, I would go with docx, because I know all readers are now much better at reading that format. Although PDFs are not bad, they've definitely improved. So it's quite similar now. But if I had a choice, the second part of that question you asked about, do they have issues with boxes? Yes. Boxes is fundamentally a problem, because if you think about a system that's reading the CV, if you have boxes, then it doesn't know, is this the work history or is this the key skills? So try to avoid those boxes. Also, when it comes to displaying boxes, it's not easy. So again, I would just say, just try to remove them. Why do we need boxes in a CV? A CV is a Word document. So try to remove them and just have a simple layout. Some people that are more creative, might have portfolios and things like that. With those CVs, is a little bit different, but I still suggest them to have a Word or a simple format, and also a designy format. The simple format is used for when you are applying or registering to registering to job sites. So it picks it up and makes it look professional. And then the other one, which is more creative and design, you use that CV when you're emailing it to an individual person, directly to the hiring manager. So they get the full experience of your CV. All right. I hope that answers the question.
answers. And I think it answers it perfectly. And I think we should wrap up. I just want to thank everyone for coming, and I hope you found this live very useful and helpful. This was obviously just a taster of what we can really offer, and we just wanted to give something to you at this stage to really help you get that job that you want. So congratulations again for taking the next step of coming today, and just stay tuned, because we'll be doing this a lot more times. We'll improve on our lives, like Kippy said. This is our first time, so just bear with us. But it was amazing to have you all. You all brought a lot of great questions, so we shall see you soon. And you'll also get a follow-up email with the on-demand coaching live, so you can look back at the questions, you can look back at the advice that Ify said, and you can always get back in touch with us, follow our social medias, register on our website, because that will really get you to kickstart your career.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
And look forward to working with you guys, helping you further. All right.
Lovely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.